Why real estate is the best business to start. Let me explain. By the end of this video, you'll know why I recommend business, and you'll know why I recommend real estate as the best business. All businesses out there. You may be wondering, how do I better my financial situation? And that's probably the answer that you're looking for, and maybe this video will help you to make a decision on that. Let me tell you what's going on right now in the US economy. 60% of Americans can't afford a $1,000 emergency without getting into debt. Over 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, earning six figures a year. That's happening right now. In 2020, what we can buy now in 2024, we can buy just 3/4 of what we could afford in 2020. That's happening right now. That means the US dollar is 25% weaker in just 4 years. The US economy is printing money that it does not have to buy things that it doesn't need. If this was any other country, they would be bankrupt by now. And that's what's going on. They're playing with your money, and real estate can solve that. So I'm going to help you do that. So let's talk about real estate. Why is real estate the best business to start? For one, real estate, I don't know if you know this, is the oldest industry in the world. Think about real estate. Real estate is taking somewhere to live and then making it great for someone else to stay. Well, since humans have been around, we've always wanted somewhere to stay. And that's the idea of real estate. Real estate has been well developed. It's a well-trodden path by millions. In fact, by now, probably billions of people, which means that there are so many blueprints for you to follow. All you will need to do is copy someone's playbook and you will be successful. That's a really good business, and it still makes money, and it will continue to make money. In 10 years, in 100 years, their grandchildren, their great-great-great-grandchildren, they'll be able to do real estate too. That makes it one of the best businesses because it's sure money, not funny money. It's sure, and that's what we want, especially if you're talking about financial freedom, right? It's not something that you want to play with. So if you're going for changing your financial situation, then you want to make sure that once you change it, something doesn't happen in 2 years, 5 years, that you have to go back to work, right? And that's what real estate is. Real estate is a sure bet. Now, because it's been around for so long, there are so many answers to the questions that you possibly have. How do I get started in real estate if I don't have any money? Someone has answered that. How do I get funding? Someone has answered that. Is it possible to start in this area? Someone has answered that. What are the strategies that work in this area? Someone has answered that. All of the questions that you have, someone has already answered those questions. And you can only say that about real estate because it is such a wide industry. That's the first reason why real estate is such a great business to start. Now, that's the first reason, because if you're just starting, of course, then you have so many questions that you haven't had answered. You can think, what would make it easier? What would make it less risky? Having a plethora of information I can pull from, a plethora of mentors that I can pull from to make my journey more secure, more sure. That's the first reason. The second reason is that in terms of cash flow, you probably want to pay the bills. No, I'm going to guess that you watching this, you don't want to become the next big investor. You don't want to buy all of New York City. That's probably not you, right? If that's you, you're probably not watching my video. You're probably, off on a mastermind listening to Warren Buffett somewhere. But if you're watching this video, I'm guessing that you just want to provide for your family. You just probably want to afford to pay the bills, to not have to worry when you go to the grocery store. That's who I think you are. That's who I think you are. So then, if that's you, you want financial freedom. You want an extra few $1,000s every month without having to think about it. And so, that's what real estate gives to you. This is the second reason. Real estate gives you cash flow. And let me break this down. See, my properties, they average around $2,000 per month in cash flow. And I teach people how to do that. Now, shameless plug, if you go to the link in my bio on the YouTube, then you can reach out to me. We can get you started. No problem. That's it. However, I'm going to just break it down slightly here. What we do is that we take properties, then we put them into short, midterm, or long-term rentals. We either divide them by room or do the entire thing. Then we find people who are traveling in terms of insurance, traveling for nurses, etc. And we have a great system, and we do this in multiple states. That ensures that our properties can bring an average of $2,000. That's a short version of what I do. Now, you think about that path, I have more than a dozen of those. So you can do the quick math in your brain. That's what a real estate has allowed me to do. Now for you, what does that mean for you? It means that if you were to find just one of these properties, let's say it wasn't $2,000, let's say it was just $1,000. One property producing $1,000, and then you went and found 4 of those. $4,000 per month, does that sound bad? Not really. Yeah, not bad, right? It doesn't sound bad. And that's my point, right? So yeah, it doesn't sound bad because real estate can really do that for you. Real estate can produce cash flow so that you can get financial freedom. And cash flow, financial freedom is based on cash flow. And so then if you're thinking about pursuing financial independence, retiring early, helping out your family more, being able to have time with your kids, your family, time to travel, that's how you do it. And remember, that's money that you're making in your sleep. That's the second reason. The third reason why real estate is so amazing is because real estate is a physical asset, right? Now, unlike e-commerce, and I'm going to get to that in a second, but unlike e-commerce or other businesses, real estate is a physical location that other people can see. Now, what does that mean? It means if you are going to go out and tell people that you have this business, they are more likely to believe you, or you can send them the address, they can go see it, right? It's not a piece of paper, unlike stocks, right? You can see it. It's their physical structure, right? And then also it's easier to get funding and capital to purchase physical buildings. You can start with one single family, you can go to a multifamily, you can go to hotels, apartment buildings, etc. But it is easier because it is a physical building. You don't need to imagine that you own something like stocks. You can see the building. And so, because it's so easy to get that, what happened? Banks are more willing to lend for you to get real estate. So easy to get money to buy real estate. People, private lenders like me, are willing to help you to get money to go and buy real estate because I can see the building. If you don't pay me, then I can just take back the building. Not so with other businesses. If you've ever been to the bank trying to get a loan to start a business, you know how hard it is to get capital to start a business. But not so with real estate, because real estate, you can see it. The building itself is the collateral. Now, what does that mean in terms of risk? I come to my fourth point. Why real estate is such a great business to start. I don't have this written down, by the way, right? So this is something I'm passionate about. I talk about this all day. You can tell I'm passionate about it because I know these things in my head, right? There is a saying that Nelson Mandela never wrote down his speeches because it was who he is. And this is who I am. So I'm talking to you from the heart. So, point number 4. E-commerce businesses have a 90% fail rate, right? Laundromats, warehouses, car washes, these have a 80, 70, 90% success rate. Remember, e-commerce is a 90% failure rate. Other businesses like car washes, laundromats, warehouses have a 70, 80, 90% success rate. Real estate has a 95% success rate. 95% success rate. What does that mean? It means 95% of people who get into real estate are still in business after 5 years. 90%, 95%, that is a high chance of you making money in real estate. So then why aren't more people doing this? You might say, well, I don't have the money. Well, stop. Remember, I told you that's a question that has already been answered. How do I invest in real estate without my own money? It's already been answered. I can show you how to do that. If you join my community again, I will show you how to do that. It's not a problem. That question has been answered. How do I do it if I don't have time, if I have kids, if I'm not in the country, if I'm out of state, if I'm in a different location, if I have this, if I have that, and if I'm under 21? All of these questions have been answered because real estate is such a giant industry. All of those questions have been answered. So then if you're looking at success rate in real estate, it is so much higher than other industries. So much higher. So then is it weird? Is it uncommon? Would it surprise you that 90% of millionaires own real estate? If you close one property for $500,000 in 1 year, and then 10 years later you close another property for $500,000, you are now a millionaire. You own two assets that are worth $1 million. I can teach you how to close properties. I can teach you how to get that cash flow. And it would only take two. In fact, what we did the math earlier, 4 would possibly change your life. You're not looking for 100 units. 4 would change your life. There's a reason why 90% of millionaires own real estate. And I'm going to get to my last reason now. My last reason is that the tax benefits from real estate outpace any other asset class out there. You go to anywhere in the world and the government is going to favor the people who own land. Why? Because the government sucks at distributing land. It doesn't know what the people need. Look at government buildings, they don't look good. So then they need real estate investors to make properties look good and make them livable and maintain them. And then the government says, if you help us do that, we are going to give you tax advantages. And that's what the government does anywhere in the world. So you can write off so many expenses in home properties, in any property, hotels, commercial real estate. There are tax write-offs for all of them, which means that the owners of real estate end up paying less taxes than others who just work a 9 to 5. Why not you? Why not you? And you may be thinking, well, because any excuse that you might have right now, I'm telling you, someone has already solved that problem. I want to help you. I want to help you get into real estate. I want to help you achieve financial freedom. And hopefully by the end of this video, if you're just wrapping up now, I'm telling you, financial freedom is possible for you. And if you haven't seen it by now, hopefully by now you've seen real estate really is the best business to start. I'm trying to help you to see that. So if you're interested in talking, comment invest. I will get in touch with you. I will send you a link, send me an email, and don't forget, as always, subscribe. By the way, you see this right here, it's a playlist of videos that I think you might be interested in. So feel free to click that and check it out, okay? I'll see you next time.